Hello YouTube, Geminijets 2000 here, coming at you with an airport update of Detroit Metro. This was requested by Captain NASCAR 42. I'm trying to sort of do these updates in order of, the first request the next video. There's still a few in front of this one because I'm waiting for some models for like Seattle and like in ones like that in San Francisco. But yeah, here's Detroit Metro, pretty big airport, as you should know. It's basically, there's two terminals. Basically the north terminal right here, which has basically all the airlines except for Delta and their SkyTeam partners. If you don't know, Detroit is a major hub for Delta. Then at the real airport, the terminals are not kind of just out in front of each other like this. This terminal right here would be way out that way, not at all in front of this one. But this terminal is and this terminal here are the Migna Arma terminals. They're a lot newer. They're all Delta and the SkyTeam. This one right here on the end here is just a separate one. It is right across from that terminal, so that's realistic. But there would be gates on this side too. It's mostly all just regionals at that terminal. But yeah, so let's just get into the video here. I'll just start over at the north terminal. First off with Alaska, we have a 737-800, which is going to be heading out to Seattle. Oh, and basically there's no time period for this update, but the actual, it's a non-COVID-19 update. This is regular operations. But for me to find all the routes, I had to look into future. So most of the routes pretty much all the routes for all these other airlines are in like the end of September 30th, something like that. And then all the Deltas are the end of October. That was when Delta had a pretty much normal schedule. So this is basically in the future, but what it would look like at regular capacity. So as we said, the Alaska 738 to Seattle, they'll use either 739s or 738s. There's usually switch. Right here is the one non-Delta or SkyTeam International. Lufthansa A340-600 out to Frankfurt, Germany. I was wanting to do my new 747 in this one, but then I just looking at it, I realized they used the A340-600, so at least I have the 346. Right here is the United Express Embraer 175, which is heading out to Chicago O'Hare and is in from Houston. And we have an A320 for United, which is going to be heading out to Denver and is in from San Francisco. Got a CRJ 550 here. The route is on a CRJ 700. It's the exact same basically body, so it's a 700. It's going to be heading out to Washington Dulles, and then right here is an ERJ 170 going to be heading out to Newark for United. And that's the first gates here. I was able to model this terminal almost identical. It's just not long enough. It's about like 5 gates shy in the middle here. But the end here is just, Alaska and United, 6 gates. These gates here are like international gates. That's why they're double jet bridges. And then here, so that's, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then just basically right here, there's a lot of empty gates at the real airport. But Spirit is right here. We got a Spirit A319, and he's gonna be heading out to New Orleans and is in from Tampa. They operate a lot of routes out of here. Now in this like 4 gates right here, there would be about 10 gates at the real one. But then from here, this is gate 18. So basically went from gate 8 to gate 18. So those are the gates I'm missing. But the rest of them are here. We have a JetBlue A320, which can be heading out to JFK. They operate, this route is starting up in, I think, September, and it'll be on the A320. Right now, they operate the E190s to Boston. Southwest operates these 4 gates here. Next to JetBlue, in between American and Frontier. And I get over here. Southwest 737-700, which is going to be heading out to Baltimore, and is in from Nashville. We have the Tennessee 1 737-700 just pulling in here to gate D20. I wrote the gate numbers out on the ends here for these gates. But 737-700 here, and he was arriving in from St. Louis and will be heading out to Chicago Midway. D21, Southwest 737-800, going to be heading out to Denver and is in from Las Vegas. And one of the new models, the Southwest 737-800 by NG Models. The Alaska 737-800, that's the other new model from NG Models. And this one's heading out to Phoenix Sky Harbor, and he is in from Dallas Love Field. Empty gate here, D24, D25, Frontier, A320, going to be heading out to Miami, and is in from Las Vegas. And I'll just get this Frontier right here, taxiing out to the runway. Frontier A320 Neo. All the Frontier routes, they're all scheduled on A320s. I don't know if that's, I don't know if they actually distinguish between the 20 and the 20 Neos, like on at least the side I was looking at for Frontier. But here's a 20 Neo. It is heading out to Trenton Mercer, and arrived in from, which one did I have this one? Oh, Orlando. Then there's a runway actually behind this terminal here, so that's kind of realistic. I'll get that Delta there later. And right here is a American A321 heading into Charlotte. The one route I found that had an A321. E170 here, going to be heading out to Washington National, is in from LaGuardia. 737-800, going to be heading out to Dallas-Fort Worth, and is in from Miami. Finally, an A319 for American. This one still has a U.S. Airways title, but the retro livery is still around. And he's going to be heading out to Phoenix, and is in from Philadelphia. The Phoenix was scheduled for an A320. I don't have an American A320 though, so I'll just send him on the 19. Before I head over here, there's one more, one on the runway here. The Air Canada CRJ, heading out to Toronto. And that's on CRJ 200, I think is the scheduled plane for that. Yeah, so I'll just start getting over to the Deltas. Actually, I'll get this cargo here, right here. FedEx MD-11, heading out to Memphis, and is in from Columbus, not the regular Columbus, Rickenbacker. Then right here is a Hawaiian 717. I didn't realize how many 717s Delta operates out of here, so I'm saying he's operating for Delta. Sorry about that, all shakiness. But 717 operating for Delta, and he's heading out to Raleigh, Durham, and is in from Portland, Maine. Sorry about that, just cut it off. Right here is a hangar, nothing in here. I figured Delta has a big maintenance base here. I didn't research it or anything. Get these other cargoes right here before I head on to the Deltas. 767-300, this is operating for an A300, and it is going to be heading out to Chicago, Rockford. And here's a 757 in from Louisville, and it's heading out to Philadelphia. Now on to the main Delta terminal. Only other airlines is Aeromexico and Air France. The one airline I didn't get was Royal Jordanian. I didn't find them scheduled either, but I mean, I don't have a Royal Jordanian model, so. But yeah, starting off here, we have a Delta 737-900ER. And he's going to be heading out to Denver, and is in from Philadelphia. Got an MD-90. These are retired, but I'm just throwing it in kind of as a tribute, saying he's operating on a 717 flight. And he's heading out to Washington National, and is in from JFK. Some empty gates here. 757-200 for Delta, heading out to Orange County, and is in from Tampa. Empty gate here. 717 for Delta, heading out to Charlotte, and is in from St. Louis. Empty gate. Delta 757-200, another one here, heading out to Mexico City, and is in from Orlando. Right here is the Delta A330neo. I didn't see any of these scheduled out there. I don't think they're based here. But they have a regular A330 base. This one, trying to figure out which route I was going to send it on. Yeah, I'll send it. He's heading out to Nagoya. That's normally on an A330-200, Nagoya, Japan. Then right here, sadly, Delta is retiring all their 777s, so this wouldn't be realistic. But I'm saying he's operating for the A350, the A350-900, because they have a pretty good sized base for those here. And it is going to be heading out to Seoul, Incheon, and arrived in from Tokyo, Haneda. And those are on A350s. Right here's an Aeromexico 737-800. It's missing his right tail, sadly. They only operate E190s here, but I just wanted to have the Aeromexico in. He's heading out to, he's in from Leon del Bajo. He's going to be heading out to Querendajo. I butchered all those, but BJX out to QRO for the airport codes. They also operate to Monterrey, Mexico, all the E190s. Right here is a Delta 767-300ER, operating for a 400ER, and he's heading out to London Heathrow. Empty international gate here. Delta A350-900, heavily serviced. He is heading out to Beijing Daxing. That's part of the reason why I put the Deltas in October, because the Beijing Daxing route starts up in October, like October 20 something. But yeah, it's in from Shanghai, so I wanted to have that. It's Beijing Daxing is a pretty new airport opening up, just to relieve Beijing, regular Beijing. Here's an A330-300 just pushing out a gate, and he is heading out to Paris Charles de Gaulle. It's in from Amsterdam. Final wide body here is the Air France 777-300ER, getting heavily serviced and catering. They operate the 777-200s and 200ERs into here, but this is what I have, so it's close enough. But the Air France 777 heading out to Paris Charles de Gaulle. I'll just grab this one over here. Delta 737-900ER, going to be heading out to Fort Myers and is in from Portland, Oregon, PDX. A320 for Delta, heading out to Providence, Rhode Island, and is in from Milwaukee. Some empty gates here. Delta 737-800, going to be heading out to West Palm Beach and is in from Sacramento. Control tower here, that's where it is. Another Delta 737-800 on this side. He is heading out to Baltimore and is in from Minneapolis, St. Paul. Delta A319 going to be heading out to Jacksonville and is in from Austin, Texas. There's a ton of A319 routes a lot of them were only on A319s. These are only on A319s, so a lot of kind of cool routes that I just had to take out because they don't have them on A319s on anything else. But here's an A321, along with that a lot of A321 routes. But he's heading out to San Diego and is in from LA, Las Vegas. Getting to the end gates here. Oh, and by the way, all the routes for Delta are on all the correct aircraft unless I say otherwise, whether it's 737-800 or 900 or 752, 753, A319. Unless I say otherwise, they're all on the correct routes. So same with all the other airlines over there. And the regionals, yeah, there's all the exact type that heads to that city. So we got the 21 empty gate here, Delta CS100 or A220, and he's going to be heading out to Dallas-Fort Worth. That was the only route I found it scheduled on in October there. Only Dallas-Fort Worth, so that was kind of interesting. I thought they had a base there, maybe they'll schedule more of them out there by then. But I'm saying he came in from Chicago O'Hare. 717s operate out of O'Hare, so but yeah, just filling for a 717, but heading out to Dallas-Fort Worth as the only A220 route. Here's another 717, and he is heading out to Albany and is in from Greensville, Spartanburg. Empty Delta gate, 757-300 here, getting service. I'll go to this side. And he's going to be heading out to Los Angeles, LAX, and is in from San Francisco, SFO. And then right here is a Delta 757-200. The final 752, just pushing out for Atlanta, is in from Fort Lauderdale. We'll grab the Delta 739 over here for the runway. Next in line here is this Delta 737-900ER. And he is heading out to San Jose, California, and is in from Salt Lake City, Utah. Over to the regionals. I do not have enough regionals. So I only have 3 Deltas, but I threw in this Alaska CRJ 700 because I mean this plane doesn't wear this livery. I think it's a Delta one actually, the real aircraft, or something like that. I don't know. But it was mostly a ton of CRJ 900 routes and a bunch of CRJ 200 routes. I don't have any CRJ 200s. There are still some CRJ 700 routes and a couple E175 routes. So all of these are on the correct aircraft. Right here is an E170. And he's going to be heading out to Lexington and is in from Louisville. That one, along with like a couple other cities like Columbus and like Milwaukee, were the only other routes I found on like the E170s. Right here, CRJ 900. Great model here. It's Comair Anniversary or whatever. Comair, they don't exist anymore, but this would be Endeavor, I think. He's heading out to Appleton and is in from Traverse City. There's a ton of routes on these CRJ 900s, which I wish I could have put in. They're all, these cool cities like Rochester, like Syracuse, all these bunch of just little places, pretty cool. Just cool little towns, across America. Empty gates here, as I don't have very many regionals. Here's Delta 737, not 737, CRJ 700 heading up to Huntsville, Alabama, and is in from Kalamazoo. And then right here is another CRJ 700 which is going to be heading out to Lansing, Michigan, and is in from Chicago Midway. So that'll do it for Detroit. Major Delta hub. It is fun using all my Delta models, and it took a while to find all the Delta routes, especially looking up each one to make sure it's on the right aircraft. Especially those regionals too. You know, those are it's cool, you know, to think about. But yeah, so that's the video. Hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I just got a bunch of new models. Only had 2 of them in this update. But I'll be looking forward to getting them in other videos and getting some unboxings out. Yeah, so don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Go follow me on Instagram at Geminijets_2000. And I'll end it here with the shot of the Air France 777 300ER. And I'll see you guys in the next video.